Hi, welcome back to another episode of You're at Home with Sonia. After a whole day of working, I don't know about you, but I usually look forward to dinner time because that's when I can just be in my own zone. So tonight I have the menu I have prepared is beets with curry powder, and also served with couscous that's cooked with the beet juice. So all the beets that the water that we use to cook the beets, we can use it to cook the couscous. And then we also have a special is the pan-fried tofu served with spicy orange sauce, which is made from scratch. Well, not entirely from scratch, but I'll show you how to make the sauces. And we also have scrambled eggs with red bell pepper. So to start off, I got a nice beet, nice the size of my palm. So I'm going to cut off the ends first. And peel it off. I like beets. They are sweet, they are nutritious, and they are color. I love the color red. So do this until you have the whole beets all peeled off. And to cook the beets, I will prepare a pot of water, and I will use 2.5 cups of water. Then put your beets into the pot and start cooking it and boiling it. A beet usually takes about 10 minutes to 20 minutes depending on the size of the beets that you have today. The one I have, which is the size of my palm, usually took about 20 minutes. A way to find out whether the beet is fully cooked is you use a fork, and if you can pierce through it very easily, then it's fully cooked. And I have one that's already cooked, and I'll show you for this one. I'm gonna just dice it into cubes so that I can saute it with the curry powder. And there we go, all nicely diced up in small cube. And then so now we're gonna cook it in curry powder. So turn the heat up to medium high and put in about 1 tablespoon of cooking oil. You can use vegetable oil, canola oil, or olive oil, your preference. In this case, I am using a vegetable oil. Just let it heat up for about 30 seconds. And also a good way to test whether the oil is hot enough, I'll usually just drop a tiny slice of shallots or onions, and when it starts sizzling, it makes a sizzling sound, then you know the oil is ready for frying. So to go with my beets with curry powder, I'm going to stir fry up some garlic, shallots to go with the beets. So now it is sizzling, the oil is ready. So figure about maybe a tablespoon of shallot, half a tablespoon of garlic, and a little bit more because I like garlic. Saute them a little bit until they are slightly golden brown and full with the fragrance. You can smell it. I can smell it. Smelling pretty good. Good. Turn the heat down to medium. Put in your beets. Remember, the beets is already cooked, so you really just want to mix it well with the shallots and the garlic. And let it cook for about 1 minute. Next, I'm going to put in the curry powder. About half a teaspoon. Sprinkle over them. A pinch of salt. So I say take about 1 minute to saute the beets together with the curry and the salt. I think that looks pretty good. I made a little testing. Could use a little bit more salt. Maybe a second pinch of salt. You know, cooking is just like art. So if you feel like it needs a little bit more curry, add a little bit more curry, a little bit more salt, a pinch of salt, add to it. Feel free. Express yourself through the art of cooking. That's what I do. That's why I enjoy cooking so much. There we go. Quick and easy. Beets is ready. So let's put it onto the plate. Let's plate it and set aside. Next, we're going to do the couscous. This is the leftover juice from the beets I cooked. So for the couscous, do not be afraid. This is how I usually do it. If I don't remember how to cook it, I look at the recipe. So I will say about, for this packet of couscous, all the couscous, they should come with instruction on how to cook them. For this particular one, for this size, I have a 6-ounce pearl Israeli couscous, which I really like. They are rounded, not the tiny ones. So this is the Israeli couscous, and I'm going to use 2.5 cups of water, which I'm going to mix it together with the beet juice. Always have your measuring tools ready. 2.5 cups. I'm going to put that in the pan. Juice. So this is 1 cup. More water. 2 cups of liquid. 2.5. Pour in the couscous, let them all cook together. Bring it to a simmer, boiling simmer. All right. So close to 10 minutes before the couscous is fully cooked. I'm going to add in other ingredients. I'm going to add in the chopped parsley that I have prepared. You can also use chopped cilantro. So I'm going to use chopped parsley and also sliced onions. I use half an onions as well as some shallots. Just sprinkle them generously on top first. Save some for the scrambled eggs. One handful of sliced onion. Another handful of shallots. Toss it in. Don't be shy, right? Toss it in. Add about half a tablespoon of oil. Sprinkle on top of it. Stir it. Looks like it's about ready. Smells good too. Turn the heat down to medium. Let's add in some salt and pepper, a pinch of pepper, white pepper. Yeah. Mix it well. Keep the heat at medium. Do not want to burn your couscous. And just mix it for about 1 minute to 2 minutes, okay? And just continuously to stir it so that it doesn't stick to your pan. Next, we're going to make the pan-fried tofu. So what we need for the pan-fried tofu is 1 pack of tofu. So after you clean and wash your tofu, you can slice it up into, let's say, I have it sliced up to 9 pieces into cube. They are about this size. Okay, about this size. And then for the seasoning of the flour, I have 3 tablespoons of all-purpose white flour, and I mix it with half a teaspoon of curry powder, half a teaspoon of fine sea salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper. So I have that set aside, and I also use 2 eggs to go with the pan-fried tofu. Beat the eggs out really well. Next, first step, take the tofu that's already sliced up, dip it in the flour. Make sure the flour is coated on the tofu on all sides. Okay, set it aside. I'm going to do 3 of them because I have all the other one prepared by my lovely assistant, Catherine. So there we go, all 3 of them set aside. And then this all the tofu that's already coated with the flour. Next, what we're going to do, we are going to heat the pan up. Let's put it under medium-high heat. Use about 2 tablespoons of oil. So the oil again should take about 1 minute to heat up. First, I'm going to dip the tofu into the eggs, like so. Put it into the pan, like that. And do this for all of the pieces of the tofu. Alright, so now that I have all my tofu in the pan, again the first piece is about ready to be flipped over. It usually, based on my calculation, about 1 minute for each side. But by the time I got to the last piece, it should be about 1 minute already. Time to turn it over. Look at that. Alright, hold on. Alright, hold on. Look at that. Lovely. I can also smell the curry powder in it. Turn it. Do this slowly, gently. So for the plating of the pan-fried tofu, I'm going to make something very special. Or maybe not, but I have here the red cabbage. I'm going to dress this with olive oil and balsamic vinegar and a little bit of salt. And then I'm going to use this as a base. And then the tofu is going to go on top of it. So it's going to be a nice contrast of colors, red and then yellow. So you'll see, this is good. Let's see, olive oil, 1 tablespoon. Drizzle around it, over it. Balsamic vinegar, 1 tablespoon. Drizzle over it. Clean it. So just toss it a little bit with a fork. Make sure it's seasoned around it. And a little bit of salt. Okay. Just drizzle on top of it. Alright. Stir it. Stir it. And then plate it on the plate. You can of course serve the red cabbage without any dressing, and it's always nice to eat it raw. But I say, heck, we have balsamic vinegar and olive oil, why not use it, right? Just give it a little bit more flavor. And here is the pan-fried tofu, all ready to be sit on this nice bed of red cabbage. There we go. I'm already hungry. I don't know about you. I'm ready for my dinner. Voila. Set this aside. Remember the egg that I used to dredge the tofu in? Well, we don't want to waste it now that we have... It's a sin to waste food. So I'm going to make a scrambled egg out of this by using chopped parsley, onions, shallots, and of course red bell peppers. First off, I'm going to put 2 more eggs in it. A little bit of salt for seasoning. Drizzle on top of it. If you want marshmallows, use about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Usually I just eyeball it. Because I cook egg a lot, I use egg for scrambled egg, omelette, poached eggs, boiled eggs. You name it, I make them all. Okay. Alright, and this is nicely beaten. And then go back to the pan. Heat out about 1 tablespoon of oil in the pan. The shallot is seasoning. That means the oil is ready. So let's put in the onions, shallots, bell pepper, Saute them until the onions become translucent. Okay, alright. Now that the onion is translucent and the bell pepper is soft, I'm going to pour in the egg mixture. Just pour it in. Give it a couple of stir. Then add in the chopped parsley. Voila. So you just cook until the egg is no longer running. Don't overcook it unless you want the eggs to be hard. Turn the heat to high. To make it spicy, I need something spicy to go with. Of course, chili flakes. That's putting 1.5 teaspoon. Let it cook together with the garlic so that it brown. It will bring out the heat. Heat will bring out the spiciness of the chili. So let it cook until they are all nicely browned and fragrant. So now it's slightly brown. I'm gonna add in a little bit of pinch of garlic powder, or two. You know, eyeball it. A little bit of salt. Do a little bit of stir. And it is now ready for the orange juice. Okay, put that in. Pour it in gently. That's okay. So we're gonna continue to have the heat on high, and then we're gonna reduce the orange juice. So it's like gonna slightly boil until it becomes more concentrated. Right. So after 6 minutes, the sauce has been reduced to about looks like half a cup. But this is a texture and the color that you want. That is more gravy-like. So it's no longer the juice, the orange juice that we seen before. So this is ready. About 6 minutes. Okay. So I have prepared 4 dishes. So it is good for a family. I have the pan-fried tofu over the red cabbage salad, the cous that's cooked in the beet juice, sauteed beach. Beach. I'm thinking of beach. It's so cold in New York right now, so I'm thinking Florida, Hawaii, and everything's on beach. But no, beets in curry powder, scrambled eggs, and finally the sauce. I don't know whether you follow what is going on tonight, but a lot of these ingredients I reuse them for a different recipe and nothing has gone to waste. For example, the juice that I have from the beets, I use them to cook the couscous so that you don't throw away the water from the beets. And the egg I used to drench the tofu in, I didn't throw it away. Instead, I make it into a scrambled egg. So I think this is a great meal that is food you can conserve the food. It's all being used and you get to eat them and it tastes delicious. It's a great meal to share with friends and family, and I do hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you have a question, please post a question on YouTube, and if you want more recipe from me or question about a recipe, post a question, let me know. Thank you.